Products optimization and scale up. Okay. So just in case you need the heading. It's product optimization and scale up. Product optimization is the process of refining and to make sure to new ones. It's just a process of refining it and improving a product just to make it more valuable and attractive to new users. Operational areas from raw material procurement to transportation. Optimizing the product development cycle in the food and beverage industry equates to instituting strict measures to assess, control, and direct the way ingredients are sourced, processed, cooked, stored, and transported. Best ways to optimize product development. The best ways to optimize your product development, one is you calculate the product's opportunity in the market. You need to first calculate the opportunity of the product in the market. That is, of course, you need to know best what your consumers like. When you know what they like, and then and you produce a product according to what they like, your product will succeed in the market. And then you choose only the best ideas. Make sure you choose the best ideas from your consumers, maybe during the ideation stage. Make sure you choose the best ideas that can make your product last in the market. And then get consumers involved, early customers involved at an early stage before you even get the product on board. Just at the ideation phase, that is where you should make sure you get your consumers involved. Dedicate a team to do the job. Make sure you have a team to do the job. Teamwork as well. Then find the pain points of the target market. These pain points are the specific challenges and problems that customers experience in your industry or within your market. You should be able to find the pain points of the target marketplace. Then you should select the best pricing. Make sure you put prices that are affordable by your customers. And then consider the product after sale. Yeah. Pilot testing. Up until now, your product has only been tested in small quantities to reduce the cost of production. Once you have your prototype and make the necessary changes, the product is tested on a larger scale, called a pilot. This is done to stimulate commercial production and to finalize the product specification. Pilot scale testing and plant testing gives you the opportunity to make any corrections before you scale up. Benefits of piloting. One, you can refine when there is still time. When traditional begins, your product in most cases is fully baked. The features have been established, the former factor finalized, and the designers have since moved on to something else. At that stage, the goal is not so much to continue refining the product, but to determine the best marketing strategies and use of budgets. So with pilots, however, reactions and feedbacks are solicited and collected in development. When there's still time to make changes, call an audible and make critical enhancements that will increase the product chances of commercial and revenue success. The feedback companies receive at this stage is invaluable and could never be gleaned from a market study or in a lab. We said it gives you the ability, it gives you the chance to refine when there is still time. And then you can spot the next big idea. Not only can piloting feedback improve the quality of the existing and real world applications of said products, can it inspire an idea for something entirely new or different, or an altered and auxiliary service. Yeah. During the piloting, of course, as you create your products, you can your consumers can come up with a new idea, or they can give you like ideas. Can you change this to this? Can you add? It could lead to an entirely new product, or even it can what give you new ideas for your next product refinement. And then it helps keep the money happy, unless your project is entirely self-funding. If you're a senior executives within an organization who have allocated funds needed to greenlight projects. And any of these people with a vested interest in the project will be eager to gauge its process. Pilots bring the stakeholders along for the ride. When a stakeholder can see, will feel more invested, engaged, and likely more motivated to continue supporting your efforts. So yeah, in this pilot staging, if you involve your donors or the people who are supporting you, your stakeholders in the process, and they're really seeing the outcome, they're seeing the product, and they're seeing the give more money to invest because they see a future in the clearer vision for commercial success. No matter how cool a product idea is, the suits and beans counters will always want to know, how can it make us money? But by plotting into the market at the earlier stages, the company's early view is to market and commercialize it down the road. Feedback from the initial engagement can help involve critical decisions related to strategy and give the company the early jump on lining up with the right partners. Yeah, it gives you a clearer vision of your commercial success. And then learn more about potential costs. You will likely have a specific budget related to your project. Therefore, you will want to get the best possible results from your study within that budget. But you may not be exactly sure how the budget constraints will ultimately impact your project. Conducting a pilot study can help you determine how the cost of the larger study will look like, which can ensure that you manage your sample size and testing plans accordingly. Um, Next it is provide key information about possible issues. A pilot test can help provide deeper insights into any issues you might face when running your. With the pilot testing, you can learn more about the effectiveness of the methods you've chosen, the feasibility of gathering the information you need, and the practicality of your study. Furthermore, you may notice any possible problems with your study area, which means you can adjust your methods when you begin that larger scale testing. And then it also helps to determine feasibility. In some cases, you may find through pilot testing that the study you want to perform simply isn't realistic based on the availability of the way your brand functions. For example, you might have a hard time getting real world answers from your consumers, or you may discover that customers aren't using your products the way you had hoped for. So it determines feasibility study that might not provide you with information you need. A lot it helps to shape your research. Sometimes your pilot study may quickly reveal that the information you thought to be true actually isn't. You may discover that consumers are looking for different features or options than you initially expected, or that your consumers aren't interested in a specific product. So, on the other hand, it can help you to rechange, consider other different ideas, and change your research, change your project according to what the consumers want. Uses of pilot studies. Pilot studies can be used in a variety of ways. Some of these include one, trials of new products. You can use pilot study to try your new products. And you can use it for testing customer focus groups. You can use it for conducting product testing. You can use it for seeking more information about your target audience. And then you can use it for market research. Objectives of pilot testing. Pilot testing has several objectives, including identifying the potential. Yeah. People mainly carry out this piloting to identify the potential cause of a larger study, to determine the feasibility of it, financially, let's say, knowledge rights in all that technically. Yeah. And then you get a closer look at risks, time involved, and ultimate performance in a larger study. How to do pilot testing? Conducting a pilot test involves several key steps. One is to determine the objective of the study, of course. Is it a new product that you're trying to get on the market? As we have seen the objectives earlier on. And then you choose key data points to analyze based on the study's goal. As you've chosen the goal, and then you choose the key points you need to analyze based on your goal. And then you prepare for the pilot test, including making sure that all researchers who tested are well informed. And then you deploy the pilot test, including all research. You evaluate the results of the products that you've made, and then use the results of the pilot test to make any changes to the larger test. Next is scale up. Scaling up food production means that you're increasing the size of your food production. Food products typically start with a recipe that is formulated and tested in a kitchen. When product is obtained, the next step is to scale up the recipe for mass production, packaging, distribution, and sales. The scale-up process has many pitfalls that can ruin the best-laid plans for commercial production. Ingredients may behave differently, flavors may change, and equipment issues may arise because you're not going to look at a bigger project than the small thing you had prepared in the kitchen. You're trying to scale up whatever you've done. You're trying to make it big enough. So the purpose of this fact sheet is to identify and discuss some of the key issues in the scale-up or food process. The formula scale-up batches of products may be very different from the original formula because of differences in taste, textures, aromas, or appearance. Sorry. It may be possible to modify the scaled-up formulation so that it more closely resembles the original, but it may not be possible to make them identical. This is not unusual because foods are a complex mix of interacting chemical and physical systems. As these systems become larger, the ways in which they function may change. Therefore, a scale-up process is not necessarily straightforward and may require multiple attempts and trials and errors. Yeah. You know very well it is easier to prepare nice food, nice and that's it in a smaller quantity because you can easily measure the right amount. But now when you're producing, let's say, for really, really a big, like different products, using a big machine, it will be very hard to measure the exact number of ingredients. So this will affect a lot. It will affect the taste, it will affect the texture, the aroma, the appearance, and all that. Yeah, but still, there's a way you can help reduce the changes or errors during scale up. Here are the factors that you use to simplify products formulation. The factors you can use to help reduce the too much change during scale up. Simplifications as mentioned previously, sorry. Foods are often complex interacting systems that do not necessarily behave the same way. Scale up. Therefore, simplified formulations tend to scale up more easily and may also be less expensive to produce. Several factors can be used to simplify products formulations. So some of the factors you're going to use to help reduce that too much change in your products during scale up. One is functionality. There are other ingredients that do the same job. So there are often ingredients with specific functionality that may be used to replace home-style ingredients in scaled-up batches. Sorry. Breadcrumbs can be used as a thickening agent. In batches, you may opt for starch because it does the same work as the breadcrumbs. And then two, you can consider form. How similar are the ingredients? A product formula that consists of either a few dry ingredients or a few wet ingredients will probably scale up easier than a formula that contains many different wet and dry ingredients. For example, a formulation for a spice blend might scale up easier than a formulation for a gelatin salad. Yeah. Oh, Likewise, combinations contain ingredients of a similar color might scale up easily than a product with many different colors. Yeah. And then you can consider the cost. Is a less expensive ingredient available? Sometimes alternative ingredients can be found that are less expensive than those in the original home recipe. For example, weight for weight starch is often a less expensive thickening agent than the breadcrumbs. Yeah, you need to consider the cost as well. And then the availability of the nutrients. Will the ingredients be on hand when needed? Many fresh ingredients are seasonal. Items such as herbs are plentiful during warmer months, but may become unavailable when the weather turns colder. And then steps in products. Commercially, scaling up a product is divided into three sections. One, scale. Second is during the scale up action, and then third is after the scale up. They will help to tie all of the different articles together. So before scale up, before you start to scale, the most important thing before scaling up your product is being an expert in the product. Okay, churn out millions of cookies a year, but they have never made your cookie before. A new product to ensure that it comes out exactly how you want it to be. You need to do your paperwork. If you want to scale up your receipt, it cannot be volumetric. You will have to convert it into grams and percentage to ensure manufacturing equipment can be set up properly. You will also have to make some decisions on your process. Other than your recipe and process, the facility may ask you to sign other documents, most likely including a non-disclosure agreement and a co-packaging agreement. And then second is you need to source your ingredients. You need to prepare everything regarding your ingredients, depending on where you're starting from. You may currently be getting your ingredients through a grocery store or a food service distributor. Know your source of ingredients and have your paperwork done. And then prepare for the unexpected, of course, before you go in for anything. You have got your paperwork, you've got your ingredients away. So what's left for you is prepare for. Well, what are you going to do if something goes wrong during the scale up? As you're going to scale up, as you're going to make any product, we should have that idea that it might not work out, it might work out. But then you need to be prepared for anything. So this is where the being an expert on your product comes into play. Hopefully, the facility will allow you to present during the time. Hey, sorry, I lost connectivity at the last minute, but I left with only 2 slides, 2 or 3 slides to finish. Yeah, I think I'll continue. Yeah, so we are looking at scale up, what you expect during before scaling up. The last step is we said you should prepare for the unexpected. You've got your paperwork, you've got your ingredients all squared out, and now you're left to prepare for anything that happens. So this is where now your expertise comes in. You being the expert of your product, in case there is anything or challenge or the product doesn't come out the way you want it, is now the time for you to get in and help the facility on the industry manufacturing your products, the ideas and how you want everything to be done. And then during scale up, now you've prepared, now it is now the real process scaling up. So during scale up, you're going to have one is the pilot trial. This is the smallest of the three, typically in the hundreds of pounds or kilogram size. This is when you are running your recipe in the pilot laboratory. All versions of the full-scale equipment available to use. So this type of run usually costs less as both the overhead and the cost of ingredients are cheaper due to the smaller size of it. And then the second one is the plant trial. This is now where you have thousands of pounds or kilograms in sizes. This is when you're running your recipe on the exact equipment that you will be producing on. In the pilot, you have a smaller equipment. You're getting the things in smaller scales, yeah? Just you're trying to try out. And you through the pilot, when it's a success, it is what you've actually wanted your product to be. You move to the plant trial. The plant trial is when you're going to use the exact recipe and the exact equipment for producing the exact final product. The equipment is full size and thus costs much more than the pilot trial. So you'll be using a higher amount of ingredients and have more overhead costs. Now, you've completed all your trials, have a successful end product, and are ready to begin making products for the masses. There are no more issues and no more things left to test. So during a production run, you're simply producing stock to sell to the public. Yeah. So during scale up, you need to do the pilot trial. After pilot trial, you go for the plant trial. After the plant, then you go to the production run, which is now the real action. Yeah, after confirming that it's the final production run. So during the run, as you're doing, as you're of course carrying out the scale up, so you're now inside of the facility, have completed all of the introductions with the people that you'll be working with, and have gone over the plan for the day. The following are the tips to follow. And you need to stay cool, calm, and collected. Sometimes something goes wrong at nearly every trial, and you can work through it. Make sure to take a minute to think about the problem. Discuss it with the people around you and make an educated decision on how to move forward. Yeah, during the scale up process, anything happens. In every trial, there's always a mistake. So you need to stay calm and see for the way forwards of how to get out of that error or mistake. And then you need to be friendly but firm. You always want to maintain a good relationship with the people at your facility. However, you make sure you stay firm on your decisions that you make. Don't let them to influence you. Since you're the expert of the product, you need to stay friendly. Yes, take in everything, but make sure you stay firm. Yeah? To make sure that you stand firm on anything that jeopardizes the end product, anything that you don't want that will change the quality or that will change your end product. Stand firm to the idea, to whatever you want, but be friendly and be calm. Then make sure you ask questions. The more educated you are about the processes, the machineries, and the This knowledge will help you in the future. Maybe, and then after the scale up, you've scaled up, your products are ready, all that. You just left with marketing. What else? After your products are ready, what else? You've completed your pilot, your plant trial, your production. The following points pertain specifically to post pilot drug plant trials. These points are critical in the preparation of your first production run. So make sure that you double check every box. You need to debrief after you're done scaling up. You need to debrief. This is done in collaboration with your facility. You will go over the run, review what went well and what issues arose, and discuss what improvements can be made for production. You may also work with the quality department of the facility. You may provide who may provide you with any analytical measurements taken throughout the trial, as well as work with you to create a specification sheet for your product. The specification sheet is vital as it indicates what finished product is acceptable and what is not. Make sure to document the entire discussion just in case. Excuse me. And then the final product testing. You'd probably be taking home some finished product with you after the trial. Now is the perfect time to try it. Where the product may not be approved for sale or distribution to the general public, you can certainly have your internal team and friends and families test it. This is the great time to get feedbacks and suggest any minor improvements necessary. Next is your packaging edit. Lastly, now that you have a commercially produced product, it is time to review or create your packaging. Below should be included on your packaging. One, on your package, you need to have a nutrition facts panel. Now that you've successfully completed your trial, you should have some very concrete information regarding the composition of the product, the ingredients used, or any loss during the processes. Did you lose the moisture? What is the final weight of the product? All that you need to know and include it on your package. Whether you are personally completing your nutrition facts panel or you are having a third party complete it, this information is vital to have an accurate label. The next is the shelf life. With the product produced at your trial, hopefully came out with a finalized product in some sort of final packaging material. So as your pack studies are best done with commercially produced products, now is the perfect time to determine the shelf life and know the shelf life of the product, depending on the ingredients, the preservatives, and all that that you used in the product. And then the minute details. This can include everything from product photography, the allergen statements, and ingredient lines. Make sure all these things are complete and double checked with the facility or the final product. And that's the end of our second lecture. Thank you so much. See you again at 2 p.m. Yeah. Hey, Samuel. Hello. Samuel.